Welcome everybody to the 1997 NR2003 Draft Series, coming to you live from Pocono Raceway out in Long Pond, Pennsylvania. We've got another race for you today, the Tricky Triangle, the very long three-cornered track out in Pennsylvania. And this is going to kick off a four-race stretch of these 2-mile plus long tracks: Pocono, California, Michigan, Daytona, Darien. What's the atmosphere? What's the thought process of these drivers going into a stretch like this?
Well, Michael, it's a really difficult process of races here because you're typically set up for a variety of tracks over the whole season, which obviously every team is. It's a 32 race season. But then you get to a stretch of races like this where it's all big tracks. You need to be prepared to have a very high speed dependent setup at most of these. You don't exactly want one. Well, you do want one here at Pocono, but you still have three turns that are very different from one another. Each of the turns here are modeled after a different racetrack over the United States. So it's a very unique track we have here in Pocono here today. Last year's winner was Jeff Gordon. He won this race in 1996, leading 94 of 200 laps. Michael, do you think we could see something similar today out of Jeff Gordon?
I don't know, because Jeff Gordon, he's not had the same success that he had in previous years. He finished first. Remember, he won his championship 2 years ago. Last year, 96, he finished second in points. This year, he's seventh in points. He has a couple of top 10s, a couple of top 5s, one win, but it's not been as dominant as I think we're expecting for Jeff Gordon. I know the shift over to Roush is one thing, but now as we're starting to get into that later half of the season, I'm kind of wondering, is that 6 team a little bit concerned? Like, is this going to be Jeff Gordon's new normal for now? Or is he still on his way to bigger and better things?
See, I don't think it's any reason to be too concerned, because if we look at the point standings, which will now show up on your screen, he's 7 points, like he said. He's behind his teammate Ricky Rudd, who's in 6th. But for Roush Racing altogether, I don't think that's cause to be concerned yet. Sure, you have some teams up here like Rudd Performance, Petty Penske, Robert Yates that are a lot better, but you have 2 cars in the top 10 in points. I don't think it's any reason to be too concerned. As we now look at the points leader, Bobby Hamilton Sr., ahead of Dale Earnhardt Sr. by 44 points coming today. I believe he took the points lead last week, right, Michael?
Yes, he did. That was I remember early on in the race, Hamilton was pretty far back in the field, and we weren't anticipating that he was going to be able to make up much points on Senior at all. And then, of course, the race proves us wrong, gets flipped on its head. Senior finishes 36th, but Hamilton finished 17th, and now tables have turned, and Senior's got to be a little bit like, okay, we've got a little bit of ground to make up this time for the first time in a couple of weeks.
Drivers, to your cars.
Yeah, I believe it's like the first time since, I believe, North Carolina that Dale Sr. has not held the points lead. He's held it for a very long time this season. Now he's finally lost it to Bobby Hamilton. So we'll see how this plays out. Looking at the starting lineup here, I don't see Hamilton off the bat, but we'll see how it is as we look at your starting lineup for today's race. The front row. What on earth? Speaking of North Carolina, actually, Jeremy Mayfield lines up on pole position alongside Ricky Rudd. That is a very surprising front row. As we look farther back, we see Dale Earnhardt Jr., one of the Rookie of the Year contenders. He's starting next to Jeff Gordon. Row number 3, we see 2 more rookies in Steve Park and Matt Kenseth. What in the world is this? Moving on to row number 4, we see Jeff Burton, who's won earlier this season. He's starting next to Michael Waltrip, who's still hunting for his first career Winston Cup Series victory. Then rounding out the top 10, we have Jack Sprague and Ward Burton.
And I have a feeling, looking at some of these next rows, the qualifying order isn't going to get much more normal. I mean, we have in row Number 6 here, Derek Cope in the 3 alongside Rusty Wallace. But then right behind him, Dale Jarrett on one side of the points and Chad Little on the opposite end. Then in 15th, Dale Earnhardt Sr., a little bit better in qualifying than he has been in recent weeks. We'll see how that translates to today's race. Then we got Ernie Irvin right beside him. Then behind him, the number 21, Bobby Labonte for Wood Brothers, alongside the 5 of Ron Hornaday Jr., getting 2 wins in the last couple of weeks. Good run for that 5 car. And then to round out the top 20 is the number 63 of Joe Ruttman and the number 28 of Harry Gant.
Looking through the rest of the field here for the top 30, we see Bill Elliott starting next to Hermie Sadler. Vasshall row 11 is playing out. Row number 12, we see Mark Martin starting next to Ricky Craven. Craven having a solid season so far, running 19th in points. Would love to do a bit better. Row number 13, we see a pair of teammates, Morgan Shepherd and his newest teammate, Lake Speed in the 88. Morgan Shepherd trying to make back some of the points he's lost over the last couple races. Row number 14, we see Mike McLaughlin in the 87 for the injured Joe Nemechek. He's starting next to Mike Bliss in row 14. Then rounding out your first 15 rows, we see Ted Musgrave starting next to the points leader, Bobby Hamilton.
And looking at the very end of the field now, we got the 31st, the number 11 of Mike Skinner, the highest driver in points without leading a single lap. Tied is with 15th with Dale Jr. Then in 32nd is David Green. 33rd, number 90 of Kevin LePage, making another start this year, alongside the 31 of Johnny Andretti. Then in 35th, the 94 of Ken Schrader. We're going to get back to him in a second, alongside the 41 of Lyndon Amick. In 37th, Jasper Motorsports, number 77, Robbie Gordon, alongside the Cranefuss Haas, number 37 Pontiac of Johnny Benson Jr. 39th, the number 40 of Todd Bodine, alongside rookie Kevin Harvick for DEI. 41st, the number 42 Sobco of Sterling Marlin, alongside Jim Sauter, who's filling in for Randy LaJoy. And 43rd, surprisingly at the tail end of the field, 1996 champion, Terry Labonte. Oh man, Terry Labonte that's not a good qualifying start for the former champion.
No, that's not.
But the thing I want to get to is Ken Schrader, actually, the 94, not that far ahead of him. He's 8th in points. I think so far he's been our dark horse of the year.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. That team at O'Reilly Autosport, it came into the season not having very high expectations at all, I feel like. Especially when you look at where Jeff Purvis is, his teammate in points. Outside, I believe, the top 45 in points. So, Purvis has really not been doing that good. But then you look at Ken Schrader, who has been absolutely amazing these last few races. He really should have won Talladega, but Talladega's good at Talladega, and that win ended up going to Ron Hornaday Jr. So, I'm not saying this to be a drag on O'Reilly Autosport at all, but that team came into this year with expectations that were frankly in the dumpster, and they've come out of it to show us a car that is top 10 in points, potentially in the fight for a championship by the time we get to Atlanta at the end of this year.
And it is entirely possible because of their last 7 races, 5 of them have been top 10s, and 3 of them were podiums. So if Ken Schrader keeps this up, then things are looking very bright for him. Things are also looking bright for the number 26 of Jeremy Mayfield, who's going to lead us to green today.
This is a very weird lineup, probably the weirdest one we had since the Coca-Cola 600, which isn't that long ago. But man, you love seeing grids shaking up like this. Mike, anyone you looking at?
Oh man. Once again, things say Jeff Gordon, but I don't know about that. I have a feeling it's going to be his former team, one of the Hendrick boys, who are going to get it done today. We're about to see as the green flag waves in Pocono. Mayfield off to a great start in turn 1, 48. Dale Jr. got right up to the back bumper of him, though, already. Coming down the straightaway. The two red cars
heading
lead.
Down towards turn number 2. Dale Jr. moving into second place ahead of Ricky Rudd. Jeremy Mayfield still leading this race, though. I think it was the first time we've seen Jeremy Mayfield leading a race since we were at North Carolina. As we head down into turn number 3 to end off lap number 1. Mayfield going to lead the lap more than likely.
And he will this time around. Single file for the first 5-6 cars as they fan out almost 3 wide. And there's the 99 looking to try to make it 3 wide for the lead. Mayfield with Scott on the outside. Here comes the 48 and the 99.
Oh, goodness. I don't know how all 3 wide's going to work out here, boys.
Worked out perfectly for the 99. They both get past the 26. Mayfield loses several spots. And Rudd's going to clear the 48 as well, going into turn 2.
The 4 almost sent it 3 wide on the 6 and 26 as well. They almost went 3 wide through turn 2, which I'm almost certain would have been a death sentence. And I head down towards turn number 3 at full blast. Steve Park up to second place, ahead of Jeff Gordon, then Jeff Burton on the inside line, and then one of the rookies, Matt Kenseth, running up here really well in the 44 car.
And look how spread out they get on the front stretch. We see the 42 further back, almost all the way down into that stretch of paint. They are getting 3, 4 wide. Potentially, they could get 5 wide if we have a restart later on. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's the front 5, single file right now. Darien, I know, sorry, I cut you off earlier. Did you have a pick for today?
Man, this is just a hard race to try and predict, like, especially after only 3 laps. Like, it's still hard to say. I don't think I could really give you a solid pick other than maybe what you said, like Hendrick Motorsports in general, as they've had really strong cars these last few weeks.
And it continues right now. They got a car in second and third. Steve Park has gotten around his teammate and now looks to be poised to try to track down that 99 car. As Jeff Gordon tried to look on the inside of the 48, no doing. Now the 48 looks to the inside of the 25.
Looking a bit close there between the Hendrick teammates, but Earnhardt gonna get the advantage over Steve Park. Earnhardt, one of 2 drivers left at Hendrick Motorsports that have not won this season. Park has won a race, Hornaday's won 2. David Green, who I believe leads Rookie of the Year standing still, and Dale Jr., they both have still not won a race yet this season. Do you think there's a sense of potential urgency there between those 2 and seeing the fact that 2 of their teammates have won a race this season?
I'd say there's a little bit more urgency in the 48 car. Still, though, not a lot. I mean, I would say at this point of the year, this is, like, where he is right now, 15th. That's kind of the... If you still want to be in a fight to get a top 10 in points, I'd say that's kind of where you want to go and be. You're still in that fight. A win, I wouldn't say, is entirely necessary, as we see Jeff Gordon going around him, but it would definitely do wonders. I think right now, Dale Jr.'s main focus is just keep the top 10 streaks a-coming. Just keep going with that, and I think that'll be good for now.
Yeah, because we've had multiple instances this season with Dale Jr., as he gets passed up here by Jeff Gordon. He could have won 2 races already this season. He could have won North Carolina. He could have won Texas. But actually, he holds off against Jeff Gordon there. But he's had a very fast car all season. He just hasn't really had the finishing necessary to pull through at the end, I feel like. And another thing I just remembered is not only does Hornaday and Park both have wins, combined, they've won the last 3 races.
Yeah, so expectations continuing to grow over at Hendrick. And I just saw something we were pointing out that I want to look at again. Every so often, a good majority of the time when you get to the driver's inside, like how Jeff Gordon is doing, Usually the car on the inside is the one that tends to prevail, but every so often, like we saw at the 48 car, you can get a better drive off and hold them off. That's kind of giving me this hope that there's not one preferred lane when it comes to this track right now.
Yeah, it's really looking like that right now. I know we're only 7 laps into the 70-lap race, but it's been fairly consistent. The outside line has been pretty strong through turn 3, especially as we have a battle for 4th place going on here between Derek Cope and Jeff Burton. 2 of these guys running very high in points. Cope running 5th in points, Burton running 13th. As Cope on the inside through turn 2, looking to take the spot. He's going to have to fight this all the way down into turn 3 as here comes Park and Mayfield, potentially going to make it 3 wide into turn 3.
And Mayfield's going to make himself known on the inside right then and there. Try to keep the 3 wide out of the corner. We'll see. Mayfield, no. Doesn't look like it. 17's going to go on by. Harry Gant now to his inside. Michael Waltrip as well.
Guys have been running really tight so far through these first 8 laps. Really good racing so far here at Pocono. As Harry Gant trying to close in on the 25 of Steve Park. Going to try and possibly send it in at turn number 2. Sends the dive bomb. Heading through the corner. Mayfield looking to potentially get a run. I think Park's going to hold on that outside line. As here comes Rusty Wallace from the top to the bottom like an elevator.
Rusty got a good run there. Coming into turn 3. Not able to fully capitalize it, but I like his thinking. And look at the fanning out behind them.
Unreal. Absolutely unreal. The sheer amount they just fan out in the straightaway.
I mean, they have the whole track right there. Might as well use it. Try to go and get an advantage. Because once you lose momentum, this is one of the... We're going to see this a lot through the 2-mile tracks. Momentum's going to be key. If you lose it, you lose the car. So we see the 21, Labonte, trying to get around the 1 of Jack Sprague. Mike McLaughlin in the 87. Going to follow right in behind. Hold off the 22 as well. The 1 and the 21 still battling side by side. Got that Pontiac on the outside. Ford on the inside. Outside lane is holding strong again, though there was almost contact I saw between the 10 and the 98 car.
And they're running very tight, and they're going to be even tighter here. 3 wide through turn number 1. I don't like that. That's very scary. Seeing how close they can run together through turn number 1. As actually, I believe Jeff Gordon's got past the 48 per second as this battle continues on in the midfield.
Set it back up. Yes, he has. He's tracking down the 99 of Ricky Rudd right now. Rudd might have a...
We mentioned these two in the pre-show about how they're right next to each other in points. Rudd 6th, Gordon 7th. Now they're running 1 and 2 here at Pocono, coming up to 60 laps. And caution on the speedway! And I wonder if it happens to come from that pack we saw earlier.
Take a look in just a second. Gordon almost made that run. It was about to, and didn't get away with it. So we'll have to see. There's Terry Labonte. Remember, he started last, worked his way up to 25th, turned by the 73. Mike Bliss up and over.
Oh my goodness.
We were talking amongst ourselves before the broadcast even started.
I was just about to bring that up. Literally about to bring that up. I was going to say, we were literally talking with the people here in the studio about would there be odds we see someone go flipping here today at Pocono, and we've actually had it happen. Mike Bliss goes up and over in turn number 3 on a wild ride here at Pocono. Lucky no one missed him, especially Kevin LePage there in the 90. We might need to get him on board with the 90 car.
And oh boy, so on board from LePage, he was last. Spin in front of him. You can see the 46 flipping not that far in front, and oh!
Well.
And a reminder, if you saw that and held your breath, to breathe now, because thankfully there was no collision.
Now, I was close to bringing this up during the green flag run because I forgot to mention it earlier, but Michael, I don't know what the pit cycle looks like. Do you think there's a chance we see pit stops here on lap 11? As we take one more look at this.
We'll see here what the pit strategy is. 40 laps is the fuel level. They tend to pit a little bit before that. So if they pit now, they're going to have to pit again.
Yeah.
Make it a 2-stop race, but I mean, let's take a look at their last lap times. Cope ran his fastest lap of the race that time by. There hasn't been that much fall off yet. So.
It's anywhere between 2 and 5 tenths, depending on the driver. So I doubt we see pit stops here on lap 11, but I wouldn't put it past them, to be honest. We've seen stranger activities occur this season.
I mean, I can see it from an angle of if you think that it's going to go into a long run again, then you might as well go and get fresh tires so you can stay out as long as you need to. That depends on what you want to do. Do you want to pit early and then hold on to it? Or do you want to pit later and try to make a charge?
I think we're about to get our answer. A lot of people on the inside here potentially looking at coming in. Are we going to see everyone come down? I think everyone's going to pit here, Michael.
Might as well. I mean, if you see the first 10 cars in front of you pitting, I don't think I'd want to go ahead and stay out on 11 lap old tires as we see Mike Bliss come out right in front of the leaders.
Mike is doing his damnedest not to go a lap down. Although I think he's already failed that. Look at the flurry of pit signs.
It's beautiful. So long as they don't crash, it's beautiful.
So we wait to see who will come out first here.
And Rudd's going
to
be
Ricky Rudd. I think Earnhardt may have lost a spot or two there, but I could be wrong.
Looks like, though, everyone has come out okay. I mean, there's been a couple of shakeups in positions. And, big shakeup right there. The 10 of Bobby Hamilton fell from 30th all the way back to 42nd.
Well, he was involved in that accident, so not exactly too surprising, I don't think. Anyway, lap number 12 of 70 here at Pocono. We'll get everything sorted out for you. The draft series at Pocono. We'll be right back after this one.
Welcome back, everyone, to the 1997 NR2003 draft series from Pocono International Raceway, where Mike Bliss has flipped, and yet he is still racing, and he is still on the lead lap, even though his car looks a little busted up on the top side. Thoughts, Darien?
Nothing a bit of elbow grease can't fix, trust me. I know what's wrong with it. Ain't got no gas in it.
Sobco is trying not to finish last again. They've only done that once this year. And considering their results, I can understand why they want to get that car back out there, even if it may be a little bit slower.
Yeah, I mean, it looks fine for the most part, but we'll see how it is on this restart as they come through turn number 2 here. Your top 10 for the restart is going to be Ricky Rudd, Jeff Gordon, Derek Cope, Harry Gant, Jeff Burton, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Ward Burton, Rusty Wallace, Dale Earnhardt Sr., and Steve Park, your top 10. In this one, lap 14 of 70, we're going to restart it with 56 laps to go.
Remember, we're talking about Senior. He started, I think, 15th up to 9th. A couple of good spots already. We've seen this out of Senior week in and week out. And I have a feeling with this restart, it's going to be a good chance for him to get a couple more spots. As pace car comes off, ready to go back. Everybody on the lead lap. Here we go again. Green flag.
That's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. That is not a good sign.
46 can't get out of the way fast enough. They're going to go 3 wide for the lead coming into turn 1.
Oh, goodness. Cope.
Cope, the 99 and the 6, still 3 wide for the lead. Cope and the 99 going to go side by side. Looks like Gordon's going to lose out this time. There they are. They're still side by side. Harry Gant going to go try down the middle.
Oh, goodness! Oh!
And the 99 slams the door on the 28. Cope holds on to second. Gant holds on to his car. Gordon falls back to about 5th. Or 6th, actually.
Watch Ward! Here comes Ward!
The Burtons battle side by side. You got the Gant. And then Gant on the outside.
Oh my goodness, what a restart that was.
And everybody is fanning out a lot to try to get around the 46, and here comes Cope for the lead.
Oh my goodness. I don't believe it. Yeah, Derek Cope has yet to win a points race this season. He's won.
Oh no, we got another car! Issues! That's Bliss again!
Bliss. Did he wreck his teammate? Oh,
heavy damage from Mayfield.
No! Oh, that thing is cooked. As back for the lead, racing back to the line, and Derek Cope is your leader, ahead of Ricky Rudd and Harry Gant, as they head down towards turn number 3. I believe Derek Cope's going to be the one that holds off and leads them back to the line.
We'll see if the 99 can get a run. No. Looks like they'll duel for second, but Cope's going to lead at that time by. The 99 holds on to second, Gant third. And what in the world happened? So here's Mayfield. Ooh, not clear for the
Jarrett
2, and he is
and
up and over now.
My jaw is literally dropped right now. What in the world? We have had a double flip, not at Daytona, not at Talladega. No, we had a double flip at Pocono. What has happened?
Trek promo next year is going to have a lot of videos to show. We'll take a look here once again. I want to slow this down a little bit. We got... So Mayfield kind of dives in front of the 2. And then Jarrett gets into him.
Jarrett just went down into him. He just hooked him. Like, that's just complete right hook, I think.
In the 42, Sterling Marlin is involved. The 46 was involved. And then that just sends Mayfield flying.
What in the world?
We'll get an onboard look for it, just for the heck of it. So the 46 wasn't at fault. It was... He's just a bystander to this.
Yeah, there's nothing Bliss could have done there. That onboard shows the 2 things you don't want to see as a racing driver. Number 1, you don't want to look directly at the pavement. Number 2, you don't want to look directly at the sky.
Yeah?
Both mean you're having a very bad time.
And with that, that is definitely going to take Mayfield out of today's race.
That thing is smoking. Smoking more than a Snoop Dogg concert.
So, another caution, another break. We'll come back to you with the results of what happened here in just 1 minute. Welcome everybody again to the 1997 NR2003 Draft Series, coming to you live from Pocono International Raceway. Lap 20 of 70, about to go on to lap 21. Lights are off on the pace car. Only one car a lap down. That is the 46 of Mike Bliss. Jeremy Mayfield is out of this race after the second flip of today. Sentence I didn't think I would be saying. As we look at your top 10, coming to the green flag, it'll be the 3 of Derek Cope, 99 of Ricky Rudd, Harry Gant, Jeff Burton, Jeff Gordon, Ward Burton, Rusty Wallace, Michael Waltrip, Dale Sr., the 21 of Bobby Labonte, and then right behind in 11th is the 48 of Dale Jr. All right.
Yeah. Still a very mixed up back half of the top 10 after all of this. The top 5 isn't that goofy now, but this is still a very fun race so far as we're coming to the green. It'll be 50 laps to go here at Pocono. Still a lot of racing ahead of us in this one.
Hopefully no more flips.
Hopefully.
We'll see how they do. Lap number 21. So we go green once again.
Oh my goodness.
I think the 46 is doing the right move here and staying to the inside as we see battle for a second. Harry Gant going to try to go on the inside of the 99 of Ricky Rudd.
Oh, they're going to try to go 3-1 behind him.
Yeah, they are 3 wide. That's Ward Burton getting help from the 18, Michael Waltrip.
New man in the second place, that being the 28 of Harry Gant. Jeff Burton stays ahead of this battle. Then it's Jeff Gordon and Ward Burton. Ward Burton side by side with the 30 of Rusty Wallace. Now here comes Michael Waltrip and Bobby Labonte and Mike McLaughlin.
McLaughlin, once again, doing some amazing things with that 87 car. Going to try to get his way up into the top 10 once again.
Yeah, McLaughlin made his debut last
and we see
time
the
out
28
at
going for the
Dover.
lead. No! Tried to.
Oh my goodness, and now they're side by side here. Ward Burton and Jeff Gordon. You never would have thought these two would be racing against each other. There's here for position.
There's the 17.
Here goes Michael Waltrip looking for a switchback potentially on Burton. Oh goodness.
Does not work just yet. And right behind him, the 43. Looking for some help from the 21 to get around the 30 of Rusty Wallace, who's still stuck on that outside lane. And we know that the outside is pretty good, but when you got a 3v1 like that,
he's still gonna win it. And now there's a big battle for second. Ricky Rudd is back into second place. Then it's Harry Gant ahead of Jeff Burton and Jeff Gordon.
Cope opened up the half a second lead that time around. But once these 4 get themselves sorted out, someone's going to go and make that charge towards the 3. But for now, they battle for second, side by side. Got the 28 of Harry Gant. Going to try to get the inside of the 99.
And here's a 6 as well. Jeff Gordon trying to get past Jeff Burton as they head down into turn number 3. Ward Burton also on the inside trying to push the 6 ahead of the 4. A big battle going on here, 2nd through 7th. Michael Waltrip just here looking to possibly pick up any scraps that could be left behind.
You're talking to Michael Waltrip. Let's get on board with him. See what Pocono is like. Speed almost 200 miles an hour right as they enter the corner. You slip and slide your way through turn 1 and around 150. Right back on the gas. On the first straightaway. 190, almost 200 once again. Entering turn 2. The 4 and the 6 battle side by side. Right ahead of him. What's Waltrip going to do? He goes down to the inside with the 17. They're going to go three wide into turn 3. And
that's scary.
17 had to back out ever so slightly. Didn't get the run. Choked up the run. And the 6 and the 4 have driven away. But this gives Michael Waltrip a chance to get down on the inside of the 17.
Oh!
Not if they shut the door on him first.
What a move by Burton to shut the door, and Bobby Labonte trying to gain a position here through the scrap in the 21 car. And then look who's right behind Waltrip, Mike McLaughlin in the 87. That is such a cool thing to see that 87 up here. Such a tough time for that team with Joe Nemechek being out.
Yeah, Nemechek's going to continue to be out until Watkins Glen. Until then, it's up to Mike McLaughlin to get some good finishes out of that car. He's done that already. Last week he got 6th. Right now, currently in 11th, trying to crack the top 10. And we see the cars fan out again.
Out for second, way up the road. Harry Gant and Ricky Rudd. As Derek Cope is barely ahead of him.
And there's Gant with a good run on the inside of the 99. He could get the 3 as well.
I think he shoved the 3 a little bit. The 3 and the 28 right next to each other.
But the 3 has that 99 Roush car helping him through. Got the 3 ahead for now. Gant's still battling with the 99.
Big battle here occurring for second place. I think Ricky Rudd's going to get the advantage here. Or maybe not. What a run by Gant, but he has a check up at the exit of 3. There's still a side-by-side down the front straightaway. But it's going to be Ricky Rudd who will take the advantage.
Oh, dive bombing turn 3 is such a good strategy, but that corner is just a little bit too narrow to go and get a run off of sometimes. Especially that inside.
Trying again, though. Trying again, heading down into turn 2. Still can't get the run yet on the 99.
I think this might be a good opportunity. Once again, side by side.
Yeah, through turn 3, though, I don't know about it. Yeah, you see him check up a little bit there on the exit of 3. It's just going to be really hard for anyone on the inside line to really get a big run exiting that corner. Battle behind him, best for 4th. Oh. Burton able to stay ahead of Gordon. Now they're starting to get a bit single file here on lap 28 of 70. Pit cycle expected around probably lap 50 or so because they pit on the lap 11 caution. Another cautions came out since then, obviously, as the battle for second continues. Harry Gant and Ricky Rudd still going at it, trying to hold second place, trying to chase down Derek Cope for the lead.
And Gant's still not able, trying to make that pass. Right behind him, we almost have 3 wide. The 4, the 6, and 17 thought about it and decided against. Instead, they're going to catch right up to the 28.
Here comes the 17, right at the 6. This is for 5th place. And Ward Burton has entered the top 5. You know, it's also just now hitting me that his teammate Jeremy Mayfield, I think he may have completed the first to last challenge this season. I know we've seen it before in some other things we've done, but I don't know if we've seen it yet this season.
He finished 38th the week after he won at North Carolina.
Well, no, I'm saying he started on pole and now he finished last.
Oh.
So, that's
Sorry.
what I'm more saying. We're just all over the place here on lap 30 of 70 as the battles continue to go on right behind the leader. And now everyone's starting to get caught up here to Derek Cope a little bit as the battle for second continues to go.
Yeah, though something I noticed early in the practice sessions today is that when the cars started to get all strung out, eventually, once one car had started to have trouble, it stacked up everybody else, and then suddenly, here comes a charge of 5 or 6 cars. Like Ward Burton. Looking to the inside.
I still don't like going to the inside, though, here. That turn 3's inside is so tight, you just can't get a good run. Because now that's going to allow Jeff Gordon to possibly get a run the 17.
And Jeff Burton has worked his way up into 4th. Look at that, they're all on the high line right now.
And Burton cuts down low, trying to move into 3rd place. Still can't get a run on Harry Gant. The runs are getting scarcer as the run goes on. As they, again, trying for 2nd place. 40 laps to go in this race. The fuel window is officially open. But I still doubt we'll see anyone hit until around lap 50.
And Gant's got a little help from the 4 this time. And I think he should be able to clear the 99 if he can go take the preferred lane through turn 3.
Move up, Harry. He's got it this time. Finally, in the 2nd place goes to 28. Whoa,
And
Jeff
way
Gordon.
down goes the 6.
Lost my train of thought seeing that. He went top to bottom immediately. And now he's trying to get past the 4 for 5th place. Or that's for 6th place, sorry, because Mike McLaughlin is here going for 4th on Ward Burton. Where did Mike come from?
That 87 car has just been, once again, stellar.
Oh, for the lead! For the lead! Here comes Harry Gant!
Gant looking for help from the 99. See what he can do. Can he clear him into the corner?
Sends it in!
Potentially!
He's got it! He's got it! He actually did it! Harry Gant to the lead! Here at Pocono and inside line pass, and here comes Mike McLaughlin!
McLaughlin not able to make the move just yet as they battle side by side for 2nd. Ricky Rudd on the inside of Derek Cope. Rudd's got help from the 87 car. And McLaughlin wants to lead this race, I think.
Michael, what kind of upset would we be looking at here if Mike McLaughlin was to win this race?
That would be...
I know we had a couple underdog winners this season, especially with like Jeremy Mayfield. But we've seen nothing on the levels of Mike McLaughlin winning a race.
That would be absolutely stellar. But also at the same time, we got to give kudos to Harry Gant. He was trying to get to the inside for almost 5 laps in a row, and finally, he makes it work.
And now that he's up
impressive.
front, he has a massive lead. That 99 and the 3 were really holding up Harry Gant. Here comes Mike McLaughlin. Park on the outside trying to get a run on McLaughlin as they head down into turn 3. Park possibly in the preferred line as they might go 3 wide now into turn number 3. Here comes Ward Burton. He backs out of it.
He backs out, tries a different way, enters shallow, goes wide. Does not work for him. And he could be under fire from the 21 of Bobby Labonte here, as we're just about to get halfway.
Halfway at the end of this lap. This is the 35th lap of the race. Next time by will be 35 to go. And Harry Gant with an absolutely huge lead. Harry Gant has had a very interesting season in that 28 car, I think, Michael.
Yeah, let's take a look at it right now. He's 23rd in points. He had a D&Q out at Willow Springs and then followed up with a second place at Talladega. Everything, had a lot of top 20 consistency early on in the season, and then past Darlington, it's been all over the place.
Yeah, the start of the year, you pretty much knew where Harry Gant was going to finish in these first 5 races. Worst of 22nd, best of 12th. Not very much deviation there. Then Texas and Bristol comes, and it's just not a good string of races for Harry Gant. Going 40th to 35th. Gets a bit of recovery at Martinsville, finishing 20th, but then that D&Q at Willow Springs just killed any momentum that could have surged. But I say that, and even then, next week at Talladega, they go out and finish second. So, he's 23rd in points right now. He has led 23 laps this season, 7 top 20s, 1 top 10, 1 top 5. Could this be the first win of the year for the old man, Harry Gant?
To finally join his teammate, Morgan Shepherd, in getting a win this year, I don't think he'd want anything else. And he is definitely trying right now with a 1 second gap over the number 3 of Derek Cope. And something I want to point out here, we're getting close to almost a second of fall off in some of these drivers right now.
Yeah, this is around 27 laps into the run, but they have had a caution period in between this. Well, that's still a lot of fall off for 27 laps into the run.
And we were just talking about Morgan Shepherd not that long ago. He's in 10th right now.
Yeah. Getting passed up by Dale Sr., Jack Sprague behind him. He's got Jeff Burton, Michael Waltrip, and Lake Speed with him. The 88 of Lake Speed up here. He did not have a good run last time out in his first race with the new team, but now he's turned it around a bit in that 88 car, or Robert Yates Racing.
I think it also helps that all of Robert Yates right now is having some good luck. And you know, sometimes that one good finish is all you need. And get yourself, help figure out exactly where that car is supposed to be. How good are you supposed to be driving it? So we see up front, battle for second again.
I was actually wanting to mention something about Harry Gant because I just saw this pop up on my end here. Harry Gant has not won a race since 1992. As they're 3 wide here for second place, and you gotta be kidding me. Here comes Mike McLaughlin.
And McLaughlin, even through that narrow inside, almost made it work. Almost did.
At the very least, McLaughlin is up to third. As he's trying to get past Derek Cope.
The inside is still the preferred lane on turn 1. And McLaughlin clears the 3.
Oh my goodness. Imagine the possible scenes at Roush Racing. As he's gonna move to 99, or at least try to!
That's a teammate!
He does not care what your team orders say! He wants second place! Mike McLaughlin out of nowhere! This is amazing!
Oh man, Roush is having a field day right now. But they've got to close that gap somehow. It's up to 2.2 seconds, and they are 4 wide behind.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you, Bobby Labonte, for not doing that.
Look at the gap now after that exchange with McLaughlin, Rudd, and Cope. It's up to 2.2 seconds between the 28 and the 87.
Yeah, the 28 was allowed to pull away from all of that. And now, they've got to do again, track down that 28 car and reel this lead back in.
How much of the tires do you think they burned up trying to make that move? because that is a lot of resources that gets taken up when you're trying to pass another car.
They're running 53 nines.
I think the gap went down a very little bit that time, but not enough to where it will matter.
Woo! And
Oh, goodness!
hello.
Ernie Irvin! He almost had a major issue.
I know you're talking about tire fall off and how that's going to affect it. That definitely does. But also, if you've set your car up just right, sometimes the tire fall off doesn't show as much as it does on other guys. If it's riding good.
Yeah. If it's riding good, it's riding good. Sometimes you just have a long run car, sometimes you just have a short run car. It's all a matter of what the car is set up for, according to possibly the driver's likings or what the team thinks the strategy is. And I think McLaughlin might have a long run car. The gap has gone down by 0.4 of a second.
Seeing some absolute magic from that Burger King car.
Mike McLaughlin in the 87 for Roush Racing, replacing an injured Joe Nemechek after the wreck in the Coca-Cola 600. McLaughlin is running in second place after finishing 6th last week at Dover. You gotta think, if you're Jack Roush, do you really want to try letting this guy go by the time Nemechek is returning?
Oh man, at the very least, keep a big note on it and figure out, is he under fire from the 99 and the 17, almost 3 wide. Definitely, though, keep a note on him and see, is there any other drivers who at the team, do I want to go and open up another car? Is another idea.
Is Roush? I thought Roush has had 5 cars. No, they're only a 4. I'm mistaken, I believe. As they go 3 wide here. Here comes Ward Burton. Ward Burton. He saw the success his teammate Jeremy Mayfield had back in North Carolina. Now he wants to have a taste of it. Did I see a car in the pit
road?
Yeah.
The 30.
Oh, engine failure. 30.
And the 35 was on pit road.
The 35 is exiting the pits. Where's the 30?
Oh, and look at that. Mark Martin just blew by the 46.
Well, the 46 is a 46.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we have pit cycle. Pit cycles here as the 30 has blown up. It makes it back to the pits, but we stay green as the pit cycle is now underway.
There's some of the cars in the back half of the field. That was Mike Skinner, the 37 or 73. 36.
Here comes the leaders. I think the 28 just put the 4. No, that's 22. I'm sorry. I thought that was the 28. No. They have very similar color schemes, to be fair.
Gant stays out this time. The 25 comes in,
Park coming in. So they should be good to make it to the end from here. 25 laps to go next time by.
And there's McLaughlin trying to get around that lapped car. 35 of Chad Little.
Oh, look at the gap now, Michael. 3.2 seconds between first and second.
But Gant's going to have a fun little challenge ahead of him right now. If he doesn't.
Well, you say that, he could just very well come into pit. He could just say, forget all this, I'm pitting.
Catching the 40 of Todd Bodine and the 73 of Craven. We'll see what the 28 decides to do this time by.
He's staying out?
Yep, stays on another lap.
Okay.
And he goes way down to the inside. There's McLaughlin. McLaughlin in.
A lot of people coming in. Midfield was all coming in. Lyndon Amick in the back there as well. Matt Kenseth, John Andretti, Kevin Harvick. They're all pitting as well. As you see Jim Sauter in the pits, Mike McLaughlin. A lot of the front runners coming in. This could be a big moment in the race.
And this is where I really like this long pit road. Because you can just see all of it happening at once. So we head back up to the leaders this time around. There's McLaughlin. 25 just coming off of pit road.
Where's the 28?
There's
the 28.
He was ahead of the 40.
He's
so
slowing.
It looks like, yep.
He's slowing here. He's coming in this time. And here comes the 99. The 21 is. I think the 17 is staying out.
We'll see that time across the line. Yeah, 17.
Yeah, new leader.
Ward
Burton now leads this race. So you know what Burton's wanting right here. Is he going to be able to catch it, though? 24 laps to go in this race. Is he going to have to come into the pits? He is the last car to stay out.
Remember, the 28 car was one of the later ones. One of the first ones in was the 25, I believe, Steve Park. And Park was still up there in the front, so I'm curious to see where those guys all cycle out.
Here comes the 17. Now. He's not going to... I don't think he's got the tires or the fuel to keep going. He's going to have to pit here.
And we'll wait the...
So now it's just a waiting game of who will cross the line on the ticker. Because honestly, I'm lost from this point on.
There's nobody behind him. Look how far back they are. There's Harry Gant.
And look at the 25. The 25 is behind the 28, but way back.
There's a 25 Park. Just entering the corner. 28 is leaving it. And they're going to catch the 46.
Could the 46 be the savior Ward Burton needs? Probably not.
Ward is leaving the pits right now. And he's going to merge
look
right
out.
in front of a couple of the leaders.
Oh! You definitely cannot do that.
We'll see how this works out for Ward and Rudd. So 21 goes by him. He holds up the 43 and the 1. And there's Ron Hornaday. Right there at the back of this group.
Last week's winner, Ron Hornaday Jr. Oh my goodness, Ward.
And I think his tires are still warming up. And there's the 5, Ron Hornaday trying to get a run on the 1.
Look at them just spread out down the front straightaway here at Pocono.
So McLaughlin
battle for third here.
Lost one spot. Trying to hold on to that spot against the 3, Derek Cope.
Cope is a tough one to hold off against, though. Whoa!
Whoa! He's trying, though.
Looks like a bit of contact may have been made there between the 3 and the 87, but I'm not 100% sure. Definitely got a bit squirrely, though. Now, could the 46 play a factor in this battle? Or are they just going to go ahead and pass him here?
Well, they caught him at a good time on the straightaway. It looks like the 87 and the 3 are going to be able to get by with relative ease.
21 to go now.
McLaughlin had to go a little bit higher. This might give Cope a chance. He can get his run timed. Cope on the back bumper of the 87. Here comes the Corvette on the Thunderbird.
Can he get it through turn 2? This is where quite a few of the moves today have been made. Or at least you could set up easier for turn 3 for side-by-side through here. Down the straightaway, heading towards turn 3. Cope going to try and send it in.
Got to get ahead of the 87 before they get to that apex of the corner. Or maybe not.
Oh, wait, it's going to be close.
I think that was the 87 by a small margin, and McLaughlin shuts the door.
boy.
And up front, Harry Gant still leads by 1.5 seconds. He ran a 53.34 that time by. Park ran a 53.25. So we could see Park closing him, but he might take a little bit.
If you're Steve Park, how much are you pushing the car here, trying to catch a 28?
I mean, if it's a 20-lap stretch, everyone is spread out. I don't think...
You gain half a second.
Well, he answered that for me. Push a lot.
I mean, you gotta think he wants more. Ron Hornaday Jr. won Talladega. Steve Park won Charlotte. And then Ron Hornaday Jr. won last week at Dover. If Steve Park wins it, it'll basically be a checkerboard between Hornaday and Park these last 4 races. Gotta think that would make a team very happy.
And Gant's trying to do the same. Like I said earlier, join that multi-win club. McLaughlin's trying to prove he should stay in the Cup Series. And this podium right now, every single one of these top 3 all have different goals, but they are all very, very determined to win this race.
Look at Bobby Labonte up here in the 5th position. We have barely seen him this season, and yet he's running in the top 5, looking for 4th on Derek Cope, who's been one of the strongest drivers this season.
Labonte's been interesting as well. Kind of the all over the place. 2 top 10s and then 2 30th place finishes. And these are 4 of the last 5 race results. So Wood Brothers, we know they're kind of that mid-pack team. So when you're a mid-pack team and you're getting those results, I feel like for Labonte, it's keep getting those slightly better results. You know, don't get the 25th place, don't get the 30th, don't get 24th even. You want to get at least top 20. And right now, he's doing just that in 6th place.
You know, I've also just thought of this, Michael. Where is Bobby Hamilton running in all of this? The 10 car, points leader. He was involved in the accident back at lap 10. He's up to 23rd. The reason I ask about this is because Dale Sr.'s running in 5th. Those are the 2 men battling for the points lead. Earnhardt only 44 points behind Hamilton.
Yeah, Hamilton needs to start making up some spots pretty quickly here if he wants to hold on to that points lead. You've got Senior up in 5th. The 9 car in 12th. They could all be making a lot of ground. Take this points lead away from the 10 car. We've got about 15 to go.
16 at the moment. Wait, look at the gap between 1st and 2nd. Park is there. Park is there. He passed him. He passed. We missed the lead change. But Steve Park leads the race. We might try to get a replay for you if possible. But Harry Gant all over the back of the 25 as they race down towards turn number 1. 15 laps to go. Can Harry Gant get the lead back from the 25 of Steve Park?
We'll take a quick look at that real quickly here. The run came down the straightaway. Park to the inside of the 28. And through turn 1. 25 has the better exit. And he's able to pass the 28 cleanly and pretty quickly.
That is the most pace I think we've seen out of a car all race long here at Pocono. The 30 car out of the race, by the way, from that engine failure, gearbox failure, takes the 30 out of it. But the focus on the leader, Steve Park, who won 2 weeks ago the Coca-Cola 600. And he's just passed one of the wily veterans of the Winston Cup Series, Harry Gant, and now the rookie Steve Park is almost set to go 2 in the last 4.
It's not cat out there. Cope, though, he is lurking 1.3 seconds behind. Could be closing in. We'll get a confirmation this time by. And the gap down to 1.2 seconds. Closing slightly. But not enough just yet. And there's one more thing I want to look at. And that's the track ahead.
Oh, no.
Mostly the two of Dale Jarrett.
Running a 54.34 is his last lap. What was the lap time of the 25 last time by?
Let's see, he's coming out of turn 3 right now. The leaders are going into turn 2, 53.2. It's the lap time.
Down a 1 second difference.
And he is 36 seconds back right now.
I don't know if they'll catch him. It'll be very close, I think, if they do.
I know the 25 is hoping they don't.
What a stretch of races this has been for Hendrick Motorsports.
It's
Like, this is just unbelievable.
It's been that question we've been pondering, 4 brand new rookies from one of the top teams. How's that going to translate? And first few races were kind of a little bit out there, get some good results, but still trying to find the footing. And now it's just full throttle on these guys.
They have absolutely picked it up, no doubt about it. It's been unreal seeing how well this team has meshed as the season has progressed, and there's still a lot of racing left to do in 1997. Hendrick very well could just be getting started in this season as the battle for second potentially starting to heat up. Actually, the battle for the lead may be starting to heat up as Gant also closed in on the 25. Battle for second. Here comes Derek Cope on Harry Gant. Can't get the run.
Got to stay behind the 28 for now. We'll see if he can get a better run coming off of turn 1. Down the straightaway to turn 2. There he is. To the
Try
inside
again.
of the 28.
Can he get it through here? I don't think so. I think the 28's going to stay ahead here as they head down towards turn 3.
Let's on do it as they enter turn 3. Yep. And holds on.
And Steve Park is just loving this. Seeing the 28 and the 3 just battle like that
But there's the
allows
3.
25 to pull ahead. He's trying again.
And that time around, Derek Cope gets around the 28 and now has the 25 in his sights.
Cope looking for a first. Cope is looking for his first points win of 1997. Steve Park trying to continue an amazing string of races for Hendrick Motorsports. It's Hendrick versus Richard Childress. Who will come out on top here as they come through turn 3? It'll see 10 laps to go this time by in the Pocono 500.
And I can see just out of the very faint things, that 2 car. I said, I don't think we're going to get to him. But you still never know. And that's kind of the fun of it sometimes, as these 3 are still racing together. And here comes the
Cope.
3. Maybe looking out a little.
Oh.
I think he's holding off. I think he might want a little bit more help from that 28 car before he tries to get around that 25.
The thing is, if you're a 28, do you try to help either of them? Or do you just sit back, let them fight, close in, and possibly send them 3 wide at some point?
That's only really going to work if you have the perfect run. And they're going to battle side by side right now. We'll see what the 28 can do of it as they go for the lead. Derek Cope tried to get a run on Steve Park, and nothing of. Gant went wider that time by. 3, a little bit
Cope
more
is
narrow.
right there. Another thing I'm just now seeing, as a caution on the speedway. I think there's a caution on the speedway.
Yes, there is. Another wrench thrown into it. There's Gant. Gonna try to make a move on the 3.
Don't go 3.
Racing
Coming
back
to the line, only
line.
8 laps to go. I think Steve Park is going to lead him back here with 8 laps to go, and the caution is out in the Pocono 500.
It's not over till it's over.
And sometimes you wish it's over.
Oh. Great duel between these 3. We'll get on what it's going to look like in a second. But till then, let's take a look back at the caution to figure out how we ended up here.
Oh, what are you doing? Is that a Musker? What the? Oh my goodness!
Contact with the 14 just shot him into the wall.
You're wrecking for 30 seconds. Congratulations. And now, on lap 62 of 70, the 3rd caution of the day in this Pocono 500. Now, do we think... I think Harvick definitely is coming up here. I don't know, that's a tough one to call, I think.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have an interesting finish. That one guaranteed it. And we'll be right back to see it all right after this. Welcome back to the 1997 NR2003 Draft Series from Pocono, where we're going to have a 5-lap shootout. We have those 3 lead cars out ahead by almost 3 seconds. It was Steve Park, Derek Cope, Harry Gant. Dale Sr. was in 4th, leading that second group of cars. Bobby Labonte, Mike McLaughlin, Ron Hornaday, Ricky Rudd, Jack Sprague, Jeff Burton, your top 10. Everyone's back together. Darien, we all know how these late race finishes go.
I am expecting complete and utter chaos, and honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. 5 laps with the best drivers in NASCAR getting ready to go at it. Everyone in this top 10 wants this. They're all hungry for it. They all need it. They all want it, but only one can get it. At the end of 5 laps, we'll see exactly who will be the one in victory lane at the end of it.
The 25's got an interesting thing. If he pulls away, he might pull away and there's the race. But if he gets out, he might be a sitting duck to whoever can prevail from the chaos behind him. It's that fun little experiment you play over and over in your head. It's like, what if this happens? What if this happens? But the only way to know is by actually going through it, which is what Steve Park is about to do right now. Lap 66 of 70 underway. Here we go! Derek Cope, Gant, Sr. already looking to the inside. Here comes Sr. for 3rd on the inside of Gant.
Oh my goodness, look at the run to 43. He needs to get ahead of that 28 if he wants to have a chance at this.
And right ahead of him, there's the 3 of Cope, trying to figure out his move against the 25. How's he going to make that? And there's the 43, trying to clear the 28 for 3rd. Looks like the 21 of Bobby Labonte is going to go with him.
Here comes Cope, he's right there. Earnhardt up to 3rd. Can he catch up? Can Dale Earnhardt get what would be his first win of 1997?
The fact Earnhardt has still not won in 1997 is absolutely mind-boggling. But either way, he's poised to take the points lead today. Even with this battle still happening in front of him. 25, trying to hold off that 3 from any moves he might make. Senior right behind in 4th, Gant. Battle for 5th. There's the 21 on the inside of the 5 of Ron Hornaday.
Cope and Earnhardt, 5th and 2nd in points, haven't won this season. Steve Park, 14th in points. He won the Coca-Cola 600. This could be huge for Steve Park to be one of only 3 drivers to have multiple wins in 1997. But he's still got to hold on to the best drivers in the Cup Series. And then Harry Gant is right there as well, possibly to spoil the party. 3 to go.
2 of the old guard versus 1 of the young guns. Wouldn't have it any other way. The 3 slides up. A little bit through the corner. That might have helped him, though. Here he comes!
He's peeking! Here he comes! For the lead! Cope trying to send it! He's there! Here comes Earnhardt! Derek Cope trying to steal it!
He's gonna do it with help from the 43! But did he leave the door open?
Caution on the speedway! Caution on the speedway! This is gonna do it! This is gonna do it! Rounding turn 3! Here might come to the caution flag! Which will end the race! And it's gonna be Derek Cope who's gonna take it at the very last second!
And Cope, I think, just stole this one.
Caution on the speedway, lap 69. They will not be able to clean this up. This race is over.
It was Bobby Hamilton and the 98 of Bill Elliott. And they kind of checked. Craven in front of them checked up. They didn't have much where to go. But it took the 98 and the 10 around. This is going to tank him in points right now. 30.
Looking at a 39th place finish. While Cope will win it. And Earnhardt will finish second.
That crash did not benefit the 10 in any way, shape, or form.
So if
Johnny
I'm
Benson
Steve
had an
Park,
engine failure.
Uh-oh. Oh no, that's a 37.
And a bad day
Well,
goes
that's
to
going to be
worse
one
for
spot.
Cranefuss.
That's going to be one extra spot for Bobby Hamilton, at least, I would think. Fourth caution of the day, and it's going to end the race. Derek Cope coming to the white flag ahead of Dale Earnhardt Sr. and Steve Park. How upset do you think Steve Park is right now? He was leading, and then the caution comes out, and Derek Cope just absolutely sent it.
I don't know who's going to be more upset with that one, the 25 of Park or the 43 of Senior, who had one more lap to try to get around that 3 car, and then the caution comes out before he can even try to make his move. And remember, that was the car he drove. That 3 car.
Oh my goodness, you're right. I didn't even think of that. Now, off the top of my head, this is only the second time this season that we have ended a race under caution. First back in Atlanta at the start of this year, but I could be wrong. I don't have a very long memory for the most part. So there very well could have been another race that ends under caution in between then. But Derek Cope is going to steal it at the end.
And Mike McLaughlin
Huh?
finishes 1 spot worse if he holds it. than he did on his first week.
Your top 10 from this one, I'm just going to go ahead and get out of the way. Top 10 from this one, as we are under caution. It is Derek Cope, who will take the win ahead of Dale Earnhardt Sr. Then it's Steve Park, Harry Gant, Bobby Labonte, Ron Hornaday Jr., Mike McLaughlin, Ricky Rudd, Jack Sprague, and Jeff Burton. A very good day for some of the underdogs. Harry Gant, Bobby Labonte, Mike McLaughlin, Jack Sprague. Great runs for those guys. As they round turn number 3. And officially, to the checkered flag, Derek Cope, Richard Childress Racing, their first win of 1997 in the points race. And it comes in the Pocono 500. Derek Cope wins in the mountains of Pennsylvania.
The 3-car is once again in victory lane.
Oh my goodness.
We saw the end of that, the 37 of Johnny Benson Jr. with that engine failure relegates him to a 40th place finish. But overall, 40 cars finish this race, 39 on the lead lap. Mike Bliss, who flipped, managed to finish 41st, 2 laps down. Right now, all the attention on this insane battle between these 4. Cope, Sr., Park, and Gant. I know 2nd through 4th is disappointed that they didn't win, but they are proud in us commentators' eyes for putting on a pretty damn good fight.
Amazing fight that was. Derek Cope, that's just his 3rd career win in the Winston Cup Series. The last one came in 1990 at Dover, the year where he also won the Daytona 500. And now Cope finally can call himself a winner again in the Winston Cup Series. 3rd career win driving to number 3. That's got to be pretty special for him.
It is, especially the history with the 3-car he's had. It was the 3-car who he beat, if you remember, in 1990 when Dale blew a tire and Cope took the win from him. Cope takes the win from Senior again and gets RCR back in victory lane.
So that's it from Pocono, Michael. What do you think we could see next week when we go to Michigan?
Michigan, it's somewhere there between Pocono and Talladega. It is a very fast track that relies a lot on momentum and is one of those tracks like we saw on the front stretch here. We're going to see those cars try to use as much of the track as possible to get around their competitors. It's going to be insane. It's going to be great. It's going to be the Draft Series. For Darien Arnsdorff, I'm Michael Paz. This is the Draft Series. We will see you all next week at Michigan. Bye-bye.